In this video, we're going to look at some Venn diagrams and some union intersections and complements of sets. So our first question we have on here asks us to use the Venn diagram to list out the sets A intersect B, and the quantity of that is the complement. So remember, you have to do the inside first. Some of you can do this from the picture. Again, I'm going to go through it and talk you through both ways. If you don't like to see a picture, you could actually go through this diagram, write out every member that's an A, which would be W, C, T, A, B, K. Write out every member of B, which is D, V, K, B, F, R, G, and then move forward from there. So it's your choice on those pieces. If you have a diagram, if you can reason it out, then go ahead and do it. So this is asking for, again, in the inside, we're going to do the A intersect B. And remember that the intersection, which is upside down, is like capturing. It's capturing what is the same between the two. So picture-wise, it's where we overlap, which is this inner piece of our diagram. So my A intersect B is K, comma, B, the set. The complement says everything that's in the universal set, which is everything that is inside the box that is not in the set we're talking about. So I've already highlighted what was in the set in the inside. So the complement says take everything else that is inside my universal, which is the box, except for what I've included. So that's going to include everything here that's left over in A, everything that's left over in B, and everything that's left over in U. I didn't circle the whole thing that was coloring the whole thing because I do think actually sometimes it's easy to get confused and to try to count the set names, which is A and B. So just be careful. So my answer here, and it doesn't matter the order, remember, just don't list something twice. So I'm starting here with what's left over in A, which was W, C, T, and A. And then I'm going to go what's left over in B, which is V, D, F, G, R. And then lastly, what's left over in the universal set that wasn't in anything else. Doesn't matter the order, but everything has to be there. It's very easy to miss something when you're listing it out. So double check that you listed everything out. Going to our second example here now, we do not have a actual picture on a Venn diagram. If you like a Venn diagram, you can do that. But again, everything is listed out here for you to do. So this is what we are now finding, and we're going to do the inside the parentheses because order of operations tells us to do that first. So we're going to do A union B, and this is a piece where it's, again, think of it as a trash can that you can throw everything in. So this means everything that's in A and everything that's in B, but don't list something twice. Order doesn't matter. So I'm going to start off with what's in A, which is 1, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'm going to look at B, and I'm only going to list something that's not already there. The 1 is already there, the 7 is already there, the 3 is the only thing that was left in B, because I want everything there, but I only want to list it one time, because it's incorrect if you list it in more than one way. If you like to, it doesn't matter, but you can put it in order. I actually think it helps sometimes to look at the sets going forward, but it's up to you. So our last step for this problem is going to now take the complement of this answer that we got from above. So remember, what does that mean? It means everything that's left over, so left over in the universal set that is not in my set. So I'm looking at now the universal set, and I am comparing it to what I got here in my answer. And I'm saying anything that's in the universal set that was not listed, really important, not listed. So 1 is listed, 2 is not, 3 is listed, 4 is not, 5, 6, 7. So my answer here should be 2 and 4. I didn't do it here because I wanted to talk you through it, but one way some people like to do it is at this point when you're finished, so because you don't want to cross things out and you still have more steps. But right here we could have crossed out what we used. We used 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. That's helpful, especially if you didn't put it in numerical order, and then you can see that 2 and 4 are left. Double check. It's very easy to make mistakes on these by doing them too quickly. I also find people do these incorrectly because they try to do too many steps at once. So our next problem here, we are doing again a complement, and in this case again we're going to do the innermost piece first, which is A intersect C. If it helps to write the words down for your symbol, okay. This is also what we would call an AND symbol, so I make an A out of it so that you can see this is what's in both. Intersection means what's the same. That is my word I'm using. So any word that clicks with you, go ahead and use it. So I'm looking at these two sets right now. And I'm saying if it's matching, if it's the same, if it's the both, we are going to list them out. So 1 matches. We do not have a 2 in both. We do not have a 3 in both. We have a 4. We do not have a 5. We have an 8. So that's what's matching. At this point, I am not looking at those sets anymore because I'm now doing the complement, which says what's left over in the universal set. Left over in the universal set. So I am now looking at, this is what I have, and I am now saying what is not listed, and that will be my answer. So my answer here would be 1 is already included, 2 is not, 3 is not, 4 is, 5 is not, 6 is not, 7 is not. That is my answer. Complement says what is in the universal set that I have not used. At any time of these problems, you need to rewind, pause, but I want to say as well, my videos, my PDFs of my notes are really helpful for some of these clarifications as well. So last one we're going to do is again a little bit more complicated one. So it's going to kind of go through the steps, but remember again, order of operations does do parentheses first. So we're going to start off by doing this piece here. So we're going to start off inside the parentheses, and remember this is an AND. This means what's in both. It's an intersection of the problem. So we're looking at C and B and what is matching. So when I look at this, A doesn't match, B doesn't match, C doesn't match, F doesn't match, G doesn't match, H doesn't match. We only have I and J that match. So that's step 1. If it helps to number it, number it. Again, not mandatory. So step 2, we now are going to do the complement of what we just did, and remember that's what's left over in the universal set. Left over in U. So we're going to look again up above, and we're basically just taking I and J out. So we're basically, I'm going to cross them out right now, but I'm listing everything else. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and K. If it helps to cross them out like I did it, do it. I'm going to erase it just so you can see that whole piece is there, but it's what was left over. My last step now is to take A union C intersect B prime. If it's helpful for you, if you are numbering these, I am actually looking at A union, and I'm looking at the answer for number 2 from above. So if you like to use highlighters, if that helps you, I absolutely encourage it. So I am saying, let's use this set, and let's use A. And this is a union, which says everything in. Everything that's in the first set, everything that's in second set, just do not include something twice. Okay? So the trash can, I can put every single piece in, so I'm looking at both the pieces I have highlighted in green. A works, I only listed it once. B works, C works, D, E, F, G, H, I, K. The one I had to be careful on here, because the overlap didn't happen, was the I, and it's really easy to not use that. So honestly, when you're doing this one like a union and you have like bigger pieces, I would go with starting with the bigger set, which is here. Start the order, but as you're doing the order, compare it to A. So A works in both, B works in both, C works in both, D is okay because it's in this one, it's not in the other, E, F is in both, G, H, but do not forget that I there in that answer. Okay, so that is my answer for this problem.